Emma's flashlight illuminates a maintenance closet nearby. Inside, they find a crowbar and a few tools. Mark grabs the crowbar and sets to work on the lock, his muscles straining as he pries it open. The process is slow and noisy, the sound of metal scraping against metal echoing through the corridors. Finally, with a loud crack, the lock gives way, and the door swings open. The survivors inside look up in shock and fear as Emma and Mark step into the room. "Don't be afraid," Emma says, her voice calm but firm. "We're here to help. We're not with whoever locked you up." The survivors look at each other warily, their eyes filled with a mix of hope and suspicion. The woman with the broom handle steps forward, her voice trembling. "Who are you? Why are you here?" "We're just passing through," Mark explains. "We found this prison and we're checking it out. We didn't know anyone was being held here." The woman, whose name is revealed to be Lucy, nods slowly. "We were brought here by a group of raiders. They took us from a nearby town and locked us up. We don't know why. We thought we were going to die here." Emma feels a pang of sympathy for them. "We need to get out of here. The prison isn't safe. There might be more people or zombies. Do you have any idea where the raiders might be?" Lucy shakes her head. "No. They came and went, but we never saw where they went or how many there were." Mark looks back at Emma, concern etched on his face. "We need to be careful. If the raiders are still around, they might come back." Lucy nods in agreement. "There's an old service tunnel that leads out of the prison. It's not in use anymore, but it might be our best bet." Emma and Mark lead the survivors out of the cell, carefully guiding them through the corridors. They make their way to the service tunnel, a narrow, dimly lit passage that leads out of the prison. The walls are lined with old pipes and wiring, the air stale and musty. As they move through the tunnel, Tom, Rachel, David, and Sarah join them, their faces showing a mix of relief and concern as they see the new arrival. "We found more survivors," Emma says, catching Tom up on what's happened. "They were locked up in one of the cells." Tom nods, his expression thoughtful. "We'll get them out of here, but we need to stay alert. We don't know if there are more raiders or zombies in the area." They proceed through the tunnel, the sound of their footsteps echoing off the walls. The passage twists and turns, eventually leading them to a hidden exit on the outskirts of the prison grounds. When they emerge, the sunlight is a welcome relief after the oppressive darkness of the prison. The survivors, though exhausted, are grateful to be free. Lucy thanks them profusely, and the group begins to make plans for their next steps. With the prison behind them, the group decides to head towards the nearby town that Lucy mentioned. It's a risky move, but they need supplies, and the town might have what they need. The survivors will travel with them, offering what little they can in exchange for protection and guidance. As they move out of the prison, Tom reflects on the night's events. They've managed to find a temporary sanctuary, but the prison has left them with more questions than answers. The presence of raiders, the people locked up, and the overall feeling of unease make it clear that they're not out of danger yet. They head towards the town, their spirits lifted by the small victory of freeing the prisoners. The road ahead is uncertain, and the world outside the prison is still fraught with danger. But for now, they have each other, and they have a glimmer of hope that things might get better. As they march towards the horizon, the sun setting behind them, Tom knows that they have to stay vigilant, keep moving, and adapt to the ever-changing world they find themselves in. The struggle for survival continues, but the strength of their unity and their determination to endure will guide them through whatever lies ahead. The morning after their narrow escape from the prison, the group is moving through the town Lucy had mentioned. The hope of finding a reliable supply cache or a defensible location keeps their spirits up, even though fatigue and tension linger. They've set up a temporary base in an old community center, a large building that seems relatively secure and spacious. For now, it's a welcome respite from the oppressive confines of the prison. The first day in the town is productive. They find a modest supply of food and medical supplies in the nearby stores and make quick work of barricading the community center. Everyone is on edge but hopeful. They know their luck might change, and they're determined to make this place work as a new base. But that hope is short-lived. As dusk falls, the perimeter alarms they've set up around the building start to trigger. The familiar sound of an alert draws their attention. Tom, Rachel, and Mark head out to investigate, their faces taut with worry. The alarms indicate a breach. Zombies have found their way into the perimeter. The group scrambles into action. The night is filled with the noise of gunfire and the grunts of the undead as they try to repel the invaders. Tom and Mark work frantically to reinforce the barricades while Rachel and David cover them, their shots echoing in the night. The zombies are more numerous than expected, and it becomes clear that the community center is no longer safe. The fight is intense, each moment filled with desperation as they fend off wave after wave of the undead. By dawn, the immediate threat has been repelled, but the damage is evident. The barricades are in tatters, and the community center is littered with debris and the remnants of the night's struggle. The group is exhausted, their faces grim and dirty. "Looks like we're going to have to leave," Tom says, his voice strained. "This place is compromised, and we don't have the resources to fix it up. We need to find somewhere else, fast." The decision to leave is met with groans of frustration and fear. The group has already been through so much, and the thought of moving again is disheartening. The survivors they rescued from the prison are also feeling the strain, their hope dwindling as the reality of their situation sets in. Sarah tries to keep the group focused, suggesting they head to a nearby shopping mall she remembers from her old life. It's a big place, lots of stores, and it's got secure entrances. "We might be able to fortify it and make it work." Tom nods, though he's clearly troubled. "It's worth a shot, but we need to be careful. If the zombies have found us here, they might find us again. We have to move quickly and keep our guard up." The group gathers their remaining supplies and prepares to leave. They're moving as one, but the atmosphere is tense and sullen. The night's events have taken their toll, and the strain is evident in everyone's demeanor. The journey to the mall is harrowing. The streets are littered with abandoned vehicles and debris, and the group has to navigate through dangerous territory to reach their new destination. They encounter sporadic groups of zombies along the way, and the constant threat heightens their anxiety. When they finally arrive at the mall, they find it surprisingly intact. The front entrances are barred, and there's no sign of recent activity. It seems like a perfect place to establish a new base, and they quickly set to work clearing the immediate area. But as they move through the mall, cracks start to appear in their group dynamics. The constant stress and fatigue begin to erode their sense of unity. Small disagreements turn into heated arguments, and old tensions resurface. "I'm telling you, we need to secure the food storage first." Mark argues with Tom. "We can't afford to waste time with anything else." "No, we need to focus on fortifying the entrances," Tom counters. "If we don't secure the mall first, we'll be overrun before we even get a chance to stock up." Rachel, trying to mediate, finds herself caught in the middle. "We can do both. Let's split up the tasks and make sure we cover everything." But the arguments continue, each person feeling more and more strained. The sense of hopelessness starts to seep in, and the group's cohesion begins to fray. As the days pass, the mall proves to be as much a curse as a blessing. While it offers a degree of safety and shelter, the group's problems only multiply. The zombies outside become a constant threat, and the dwindling supplies create additional pressure. They find themselves facing internal conflicts over resource allocation, security, and leadership. One particularly heated argument erupts over a limited supply of food. David, exhausted and hungry, accuses Mark of hoarding supplies, while Mark insists he's only trying to keep everyone alive. The argument escalates, and a physical altercation nearly breaks out before Sarah steps in to break it up. "We're all on edge," Sarah says, trying to calm the group. "We need to remember we're in this together. Fighting among ourselves isn't going to help us survive. But the damage has been done." The group's solidarity is shattered, and the strain of their situation begins to show. Emma and Rachel withdraw, isolating themselves from the increasingly tense group dynamics. Lucy, the only other member of the group who has some experience with survival, tries to offer practical solutions but is often ignored or dismissed.